The sky has started throwing down secrets.
That's cool.
What is that, James?
So I can't even tell you about it.
Rings of light, beams that touch the ground, and shapes no one can explain. Each fall leaves behind mysteries that no scientist has been able to explain. Today's video will leave you questioning what else our sky could drop besides rain.
Municipio Zamora. Déjame pasar para acá para que...
We have seen many cloud formations before, but on 7th September 2025, a city in Pakistan witnessed something unreal. A dense, low-hanging cloud hovered just above the ground, flashing with constant lightning from within. Locals watched in awe as the unnatural display continued through the night. Some dismissed it as unusual weather, but online viewers started talking about it. Many pointed to CERN, claiming experiments could trigger weather anomalies worldwide. What added to suspicion was that 2 days after the cloud appeared, the city faced record rainfall. Coincidence or cause? If technology can manipulate storms, then maybe what people saw wasn't weather at all, but a test hidden in plain sight. Cloud mystery. During a routine flight over open skies, a pilot witnessed something he couldn't explain. His camera captured a huge cloud splitting from below, releasing streaks of lightning that looked unnatural, almost mechanical. Thick smoke trails could be seen beneath it, and as we expected to see more, the recording stopped abruptly. The chilling part is that the pilot was never seen again. No statements from authorities, no investigation, nothing. Locals said that the cloud wasn't natural at all, but a vessel cloaked in disguise. It is possible that the pilot saw too much, and his disappearance wasn't by choice. Glowing objects.
Is it too bright again?
In 2023, a strange sight unfolded in California that went viral online and left viewers stunned. The clip showed a glowing orb hovering peacefully until it began releasing fiery, molten-like objects in the sky. It kept releasing the objects, and they were vanishing mid-air without leaving any trace. Experts never provided an answer, leaving theories wide open. Was it an aircraft shedding debris, or a craft deliberately discarding unknown material? Some think these weren't fragments at all, but probes, each vanishing into another dimension before touching the ground. It did not just look like a UFO sighting, but an active operation. Fireball truth. Northern Queensland, Australia, lit up one night when a blue glowing object appeared falling from the sky. Cameras at Cairns Airport in 2023 captured the breathtaking descent as the fireball glowed the sky with its blue light before vanishing near the horizon. Astronomers said it was a meteor, a rock from deep space, breaking apart in Earth's atmosphere. But ufologists were leaning towards something otherworldly. They believe that meteors aren't always what they seem, and that some rocks are vehicles entering undetected. But with no certain answer, the truth remained unknown. Green descent. Turkey is no stranger to unusual sky phenomena, but this sight left people frozen in disbelief. A bright green glow appeared in the night sky, stretching down like a laser, touching the Earth itself. Witnesses filmed the scene as the beam stayed there for several seconds, illuminating the sky with an unearthly glow. Some skeptics claimed the effect came from the ground, a projector, or a military test. But believers argued the opposite, that the beam was descending from above, as if scanning the land. If true, this wasn't just light in the sky, it was something reaching down with purpose. Disappearing craft.
No idea what that is. Is it going down or is it going...
It was 2021 when a strange object was seen descending from the sky in Texas. It had an unusual shape that did not look like any known craft. It kept coming down. Then suddenly, when it reached a few feet above the ground, it started fading. Within seconds, it vanished completely. Locals who recorded the sight were stunned and called it a UFO. But where did it go? Some say the craft activated cloaking technology, shifting to a hidden base. Others believe it phased out of our reality entirely. Either way, the clip added fuel to long-standing rumors that advanced extraterrestrial craft don't land where we can see them. They land where we're not meant to. Sky tear. Residents of Los Angeles are used to bright lights, but in 2023, the sky revealed something even Hollywood couldn't stage. It was a glowing trail split into two parts high above the city. The front trail was moving forward, which looked like a strange object, nothing like ordinary smoke. Videos flooded the internet before experts stepped in and gave a logical explanation. They said it was a Falcon 9 rocket launch, where the exhaust created this twilight phenomenon. Logical, right? But still, many refused to believe it, because the footage showed a structure at the front, moving independently. Was it really just a rocket, or something else riding its cover? What do you think? Comment below. Allah! Parking lot orb. It was just an ordinary rainy night for a man heading to his car, until something strange unfolded before his eyes. Out of nowhere, a bright, glowing orb appeared, cutting through the rain as it zipped across the lot with unnatural speed. Its glow kept shifting shades, like it carried an energy all its own. Hidden behind a row of cars, he quietly observed as the orb hovered and drifted, pulsing with a force he couldn't understand. And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the orb vanished, leaving him staring at the empty lot, shaken and speechless. Silent beams. Chile became the stage for something straight out of a sci-fi script. Residents pulled out their phones as a laser-like beam appeared out of nowhere, striking the ground and instantly vaporizing its target. The scene echoed older claims, like the devastating fires in Maui, where many insist the damage came from similar directed energy. Witnesses even pointed out the odd detail. Objects painted blue seemed to remain untouched. That raises the question, are these natural disasters or field tests of a weapon hidden in plain sight? Sky Gateway. Florida residents were caught off guard when unusual formations appeared above them, resembling some kind of escape route opening in the sky. For experts, the event pointed to a natural atmospheric shift that could signal a brewing disaster. But conspiracy circles spun a darker version of events, insisting this was no ordinary phenomenon. To them, it wasn't just a portal, it was a dangerous opening, perhaps even a doorway leading straight to a black hole. Backyard visitors.
Investigators reporting about terrified members of a local family who told police they had aliens in their backyard.
One late night in May 2023, a Las Vegas family had their quiet evening shattered when a bright light came streaking down into their backyard. They rushed outside, only to claim they saw two tall, unusual figures standing in the dark. By the time police arrived, the beings were gone, leaving only shaken voices and a glowing trail in the sky. What's eerie is that other residents nearby also reported strange lights that night. For the family, it wasn't just a passing sight. It was a night that made them question what might really walk among us. Ancient visitor. In McDonough, Georgia, an ordinary home turned into the site of something extraordinary. A meteorite estimated to be 4.56 billion years old. older than Earth itself, crashed straight through a ceiling, leaving a hole in the roof and a dent in the floor. The homeowner, sitting just feet away with headphones on, still heard the deafening strike. Later, planetary geologist Scott Harris confirmed its ancient origins from the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. The idea of a rock that old ending up inside someone's house is as chilling as it is awe-inspiring.
Actually went through the ceiling and into their living room. What happened?
The homeowner was actually 14 feet away at a home office desk, had on noise-canceling headset, and still heard like a very, very loud gunshot, and then actually saw little bits of debris bouncing into the room where he was at.
Cloud Watcher.
Municipio Zamora. Déjame pasar para acá para que
In Venezuela, a man looking at the sky noticed something off about one particular cloud. It wasn't shaped like any normal formation he'd seen. It looked dense, deliberate, and strangely massive. As he kept staring, flickers of light began to pulse from within, giving the impression that something was hidden inside. The thought that it could be cloaking an enormous craft unsettled him so much that he left the area. But the memory of that cloud lingers, fueling the idea that maybe unseen watchers have been above us all along.
aquí en Venezuela.
Fading sun.
Sunset is over there.
Lately, people everywhere have been sharing clips of the sun looking strangely dim, like a dull red lamp floating in the sky. And the odd part? It's showing up in the middle of the day, not just at sunset.
What is this?
Can you see there?
Oh, it don't even look like the sun.
In one video, something even more unsettling happens. Sunflowers, which normally follow the sun's movement, were seen turning away from it, almost as if rejecting its glow. That's when the theories started flying. Some say this is reality glitching, while others insist the atmosphere itself is being tampered with. Whatever the case, many are beginning to feel the sun isn't what it used to be.
That is not the sun.
Mystery Sphere. Back in March 2025, residents of Buga, Colombia came across something that quickly went viral. A metallic sphere lying on the ground. It wasn't massive, about half a meter wide and just a few pounds in weight, but it looked like it came from somewhere beyond Earth.
A perfectly round metallic sphere with no wings, no seams, and no visible propulsion fly. Witnesses in Colombia observed the object gliding with purpose until it struck high-voltage power lines and dropped to the ground.
Its surface was covered in strange markings, and witnesses claimed it reacted to sounds, even responding to ancient chants. While scientists debated whether it was clever human design or something far more advanced, people online leaned into one thought. What fell from the sky that night wasn't just random debris.
It was unlike anything we've ever seen. Smooth, metallic, and etched with unknown markings and symbols. The object now known as the Buga Sphere has become the center of a growing mystery.
Jellyfish cloud. Over Texas, people looked up and saw a breathtaking sight. What looked like a glowing jellyfish floating in the atmosphere, shimmering with rainbow colors. Experts explained it as a rare optical event known as a circumhorizontal arc or fire rainbow, caused when sunlight strikes ice crystals at a perfect angle. The cloud it appeared in, a jellyfish-shaped virga, rained crystals that evaporated before touching the ground, creating radiant streaks like glowing tendrils. Beautiful as it was, some viewers felt uneasy, saying nature doesn't usually paint the sky this way, unless something's changing up there. Smoky descent.
That's cool. What is that, James?
I can't even tell you about it.
One quiet evening, a couple spotted something in the sky that sent chills down their spine. A shadowy, smoke-like figure began lowering itself slowly, stretching unnaturally long as it drifted down. It moved in complete silence, looking less like a cloud and more like a figure unraveling through the air. Just as it drew closer, it suddenly disappeared, leaving the witnesses shaken. Some believe it was a strange atmospheric illusion, but others suspect it was something slipping into our world, only for a moment. Birds and towers. Over the past few years, people across the globe have noticed something deeply troubling. Bird populations acting strangely around 5G towers.
I was like, you were inside, right? Is that what you heard? You heard a bunch of...
One of the most unsettling clips came from Indonesia, where dozens of birds suddenly dropped from the sky, hitting the ground near a car showroom. In Mexico, witnesses reported an entire flock collapsing midair at once.
Dramatic video of hundreds of birds literally falling from the sky into a neighborhood. What on earth was going on?
Some struggling back up, but many never moving again. And in yet another case, a passerby recorded birds flapping helplessly near a tower, unable to hold themselves steady. For generations, these same birds perched on power lines without issue. But now, something seems to have changed.
Even the birds don't like the 5G.
Passing encounter. Driving home late at night, a man spotted something extraordinary in the distance. Slowly, a colossal craft revealed itself, gliding silently through the dark sky. Its sleek surface shimmered with light, and its sheer size felt overwhelming, as if it belonged to a technology far beyond our own. For a moment, his chest tightened with fear. Was it coming for him? The glowing object continued its path, drifting directly overhead before passing beyond the trees without incident. The silence afterward was deafening, but the memory etched itself into him forever. Heavenly glow.
Oh, blessed Jesus, look at that.
In Alabama, locals couldn't believe their eyes when the night sky began glowing in ways no one had ever seen before. At first glance, it looked like shining clouds, but then the shapes grew larger, forming patterns that felt almost intentional. People gathered in disbelief, some whispering that it was a divine sign, others murmuring that it might be extraterrestrial. Phones recorded, crowds pointed upward. But when the light faded, no answer followed. The mystery hung in the air, leaving the town split between faith, science, and the unknown.
They're real clear in here, look.
Yeah, you can see them, can't you?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Strange signals. Lately, New Jersey has been gripped by events that feel straight out of a thriller. Drivers reported their car radios suddenly glitching, spitting out strange, distorted noises that no one could explain. In another clip, an emergency siren blared across an entire town in broad daylight. Yet there was no warning, no alert, no explanation. More and more videos spread online, and with them came endless theories. Was this just a harmless system test? Or was something else trying to get through the noise? Whatever it is, people are listening, and they're uneasy. Hidden depths. Conspiracies about deep underground military bases, often called DUMBS, have floated around for years, but an event in Indianapolis brought them back into the spotlight. In November 2023, a sudden sinkhole opened downtown, releasing thick clouds of smoke that only grew heavier as hours passed. Residents nearby also spoke of mild seismic tremors, registering at 2.5 in magnitude. Online discussion soon exploded, with many claiming this wasn't a natural sinkhole at all, but a covert demolition of a massive underground facility, carefully masked so the public would never know the difference. Ocean lightfall. Along a coastal stretch, onlookers were stunned as a piercing blue beam tore downward from the sky into the ocean below. The brilliance of the light was so intense it almost seemed unearthly, leaving people frozen as they waited for what might come next. Then, as abruptly as it began, it was gone, vanishing without explanation. The crowd was left unsettled, stuck between awe and confusion, replaying the moment and questioning what they had really witnessed. Endless cloud. Somewhere overhead, the sky seemed to transform into a rolling wall of mist and vapor. A massive roll cloud stretched out for miles, moving slowly but steadily, like a giant cylinder sliding across the sky. People stopped whatever they were doing, some pointing phones at the horizon, others just staring in disbelief. Experts label it a natural weather phenomenon, but residents swore they'd never seen anything remotely like it. It felt less like ordinary weather and more like something new, an atmospheric event that seemed almost too perfect to belong here. Twin Trails. On a calm night by the Turkish seaside, what began as a peaceful gathering turned into a moment nobody could forget. Out of the dark sky, two glowing streaks appeared, one blazing white and the other a vivid blue. They cut across the horizon silently, almost like otherworldly vessels gliding over Earth. Witnesses gasped, torn between believing it was a space launch or something far stranger. With no official statement given, the site has stayed locked in mystery. One of those rare events that only grows stranger the longer you think about it. Flicker in sky. A piece of CCTV footage, uploaded without any clear source, has left viewers scratching their heads. In the clip, a strange light darts across the sky before morphing into what looks eerily like a portal forming. The scene feels otherworldly, as if space itself was stretching open. Some people insist it must have been part of a classified experiment, while others lean toward the idea of beings from elsewhere trying to break through. Whatever it was, the footage hasn't stopped fueling debates. Sky signal. Bird flocks often paint fascinating shapes across the sky, but witnesses in Hawaii said this one felt unusual. A large group moved together in a way that didn't seem random at all. Their shifting pattern resembled something closer to a coded signal or message. Locals stood watching, unsure what to make of it, but no clear answer ever came. Years later, the site is still remembered as one of those odd mysteries that nature, or perhaps something else, left behind. Spy birds. What started as an internet joke has been creeping into serious circles of discussion. Intelligence reports claim agencies in the West are now entertaining the idea that some birds might not be natural creatures at all, but surveillance drones disguised as them. A supposed CIA leak only fueled suspicion. In one clip, a bird appears to raise its wing at President Putin as it was giving a salute. Another shows two birds hovering in place without flapping, stiff like machines. Strange, unsettling, and suddenly, the birds aren't real idea doesn't sound so far-fetched. Roadside light. A family in Alabama shared security camera footage that baffled viewers online. In the video, a bright glow appears along the roadside, shining steadily, yet showing no visible source. That stillness is what made it so unnerving. It wasn't moving like headlights or reflecting like a lamp. Commenters split on what it could be, from a paranormal presence to some optical glitch. But the way the glow seemed to hold its ground makes it hard to dismiss as ordinary. Green beam. Florida residents have grown uneasy after reporting repeated sightings of a bright green laser cutting across the sky above their homes. No official explanation was given, leaving people to connect the dots themselves. Theories spread quickly, especially when Hawaiians pointed out they'd seen the same phenomenon in Maui back in 2023, shortly before wildfires devastated the island. While officials downplay the link, others worry that these lights may be tied to something more deliberate, and possibly a warning of what's yet to come. Space drop.
First, they thought they'd found an alien obelisk, but a couple of Aussie farmers have since solved the puzzle. Turns out this mysterious chunk lodged in the back paddocks of New South Wales is actually a piece of space debris. It's thought to be from a SpaceX capsule that launched from Earth nearly 2 years ago. It was seen and heard hundreds of kilometres away.
In New South Wales, locals stumbled across something that looked straight out of a UFO crash site. An enormous chunk of scorched metal standing upright in a paddock. The surface was blackened, as though it had burned while tearing through the atmosphere. Excitement spread quickly, with many believing it was alien tech. When authorities stepped in, they revealed it was actually space debris from a SpaceX Crew 1 capsule. While not extraterrestrial, the fact that it landed intact and unnoticed highlighted just how unpredictable our connection to space really is.
The biggest, most massive objects. It's the last stage of the rocket that very often ends up orbital, like the satellite that it carries. But upper stages and spacecraft which contain tanks, thrusters, this is our problem.
Lunar cities. A supposed leak from NASA's classified SIN-25 mission has been making waves online. The video claims to reveal sprawling city-like structures hidden on the far side of the moon. The story goes that these were built between 1965 and 1968 in collaboration with a private company away from public eyes. Another clip goes further, suggesting there's even a deep underground base within the lunar surface itself. Adding to the mystery, unidentified craft were seen circling near the site, moving with motions that defy human technology. Could this mean we've had a presence on the moon all along? Airport shutdown. New York's Stewart International Airport became the center of a mystery in December 2024, when runways were abruptly closed and incoming flights redirected. The reason? Reports of drones circling too close to the airspace. Yet witnesses claim what was seen wasn't ordinary drones at all. One ufologist nearby managed to capture footage of an object unlike anything recognized, even by UFO standards. The entire event was kept away from mainstream attention, leading many to wonder if something much larger was quietly intercepted that day. Double glow. Tourists in Arizona got the shock of their lives when they spotted light glowing from two directions at once. On one side, the setting sun cast its usual golden shine, but at the exact same time, that same glow appeared on the opposite side of the horizon, despite the mountains blocking any natural reflection. The scene lit both ends of the sky in perfect balance, leaving the witnesses speechless. While some called it a rare trick of light, others weren't so convinced. To them, it looked like proof that the skies might not always follow the rules we think they do. Controlled skies. In May 2024, a recording out of Canoas, Brazil, caught something many locals insist wasn't natural. The footage shows dense condensation forming across the sky in a pattern that didn't look random at all. According to online theories, these weren't ordinary clouds, but the result of high-frequency waves aimed at the ionosphere, allegedly from the HAARP system in Alaska. The claim is that these emissions can not only trigger heavy storms, but also larger disasters on command. Experts called it weather science, but to those watching, it looked like nature itself was being switched on and off. Split rainfall. In Taiwan, something happened that almost looked impossible. A man glanced out his window and saw rain falling heavily on one side, while the other side of the view stayed completely clear. It was as if one single cloud decided to pour water on half the scene and ignore the rest. People online debated whether this was just a rare weather quirk or proof that rain can actually be manipulated in specific zones. Either way, it left many realizing nature sometimes works in ways we still can't fully explain.
So this is the rain from the 24th floor, but I've never seen this phenomenon.
Blinking blackout. December 2024 brought Tennessee one of the strangest breakdowns in memory. First, large areas lost internet access without warning. Soon after, lights in homes and businesses began blinking on and off in a rhythm that looked almost controlled. Residents compared the eerie flicker to signals linked with UFO activity. Officials called it a technical fault, but many weren't convinced. With no clear explanation for the blackout or the synchronized blinking, theories of something non-human testing our systems spread quickly. Engineered skies. For 2 days straight, the skies looked anything but normal. Thick trails crisscrossed above, spreading far too quickly, leaving a pale, hazy film that covered the horizon. Residents said the air even felt heavier, while forecasts hinted at unusual activity. Yellow weather alerts soon followed, but many pointed to a different culprit: heavy spraying combined with frequency manipulation. While officials avoided comment, people claimed they could see it with their own eyes, that the clouds above weren't born naturally, but engineered by design. Rising clouds. A passenger gazing out of a plane window caught sight of something baffling. On the ground below, a single column of clouds seemed to rise straight up, like smoke streaming from a hidden machine. The formation looked too clean, too precise, almost like it was being produced on purpose. Passengers debated what they were seeing. Was it natural cloud activity or something far more deliberate? No one could say for sure, but it stirred questions about whether some clouds aren't clouds at all. Painted skies.
Everywhere in the sky.
In San Luis Obispo, California, the sky shifted in a way that had locals uneasy. Early that morning, planes left trails that didn't fade like they normally do. Instead, the streaks spread wider and wider until the bright blue sky turned into a pale white haze, all within 45 minutes. People stood watching, realizing this wasn't just regular weather. The trails were holding, spreading, and changing the entire sky. For many, it was the first moment they felt they were witnessing geoengineering with their own eyes.
Clearly parallel lines.
Neon nightfall. New York has always been full of lights, but this was something else. Out of nowhere, the entire skyline was bathed in a glowing electric blue. The city froze. Cars stopped, phones were raised, and rumors flew fast. Some swore it was a portal opening right above the streets, while others whispered about extraterrestrial visitors. The sight was almost cinematic, like reality bending into science fiction. Hours later, the explanation came. A massive transformer explosion at a Con Edison substation. The electrical arc was so intense it lit the sky, a night now remembered as the Aurora Borealis. Black ring. Back in 2016 at Disney World, visitors had their eyes glued not on rides, but on the sky. Above the park, what looked at first like drifting smoke turned out to be something far stranger. A huge, perfectly shaped black ring hovering in silence. It stayed in place long enough to draw gasps and nervous whispers about UFOs or portals opening. Then, as quickly as it appeared, it faded away without leaving a trace. Families left with an eerie memory that no one's been able to explain since. Triangular lights.
Scared. Oh my god.
In Toronto, a late outing turned unforgettable for one group of friends. As they headed home, they spotted 3 glowing lights motionless in the sky. Their positioning looked almost deliberate, forming what resembled a triangular craft suspended above the city. The group watched quietly, trying to find a logical answer, but the lights never moved or made a sound. After a while, they continued on their way. Strangely, the formation was never seen again, leaving only questions behind.
Oh my god, look, it's triangular in shape.
Farm intrusion. In Mexico, a farmer checking his CCTV came across footage that unsettled him deeply. On the screen, a tiny blue light appeared near his land, drifting slowly toward the farm. It lingered briefly before flaring up with an intense glow, and then vanished without a trace. The man searched the grounds carefully and even stayed alert for nights after, but he never found anything. The mysterious light never returned, leaving him to wonder if something had briefly crossed into his world. Open discussion. Today's open discussion is about this clip that was caught in Vancouver, Canada. People were left frozen in place when a strange sight appeared overhead. It showed a huge ring hovering in the sky with a blue and green glow. Within seconds, the entire formation started to move within the clouds. It kept moving for some time, and before revealing anything, the clip ended. Online viewers were divided. Some called it a UFO scanning the Earth, while others said it was a portal opening. But without any official statement, no one really knew what it was. And the video is still open for guesses. So, do share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments, and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.